All right, how about now? What we got? All right, I can see myself and hear. You can see we can see and hear. Is that what we are? Okay, good. Hi everybody. Hello, hello. I missed you all. It is good to be back with everybody. Hey. I missed you all. Oh, yo, don't pump me up. My head is big enough as it is. My head is big enough as it is. I'm telling you, I'm excited. Okay, I'm back with you all. On top of that, my locks are locking, they thriving. Yo, I got not one baby bun, ho ho, but two. It is good to be back with you all. Oh my goodness. Two. You gotta say it with the EW. You gotta say it with the EW. It's definitely two. All right. So, first, I want to start with how has everybody's week been? Since we, at matter of fact, the last 2 weeks, because that's how long it's been. So, how has everybody's last 2 weeks been? Since I was talking to you all last, we were talking about being a people pleaser. Like, how did that sit with you all for the last 2 weeks? Was y'all like, you know what, Miss Tay, I don't know about her because she was around here stepping on all types of toes. She was hurting my feelings. I'm just a nice person trying to make it in the world, and she making it seem like, just it's a bad thing. So, how was everybody feeling after the last session? Okay, that's a huge win. You brought yourself out of a burnout. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. It's a little while. We said okay, okay. Not the last 2 weeks. I need some energy myself. I need some energy myself. Okay. Oh no, it's been good and bad in a way. I mean, I guess that's life. I ain't gonna hold you on that one. I ain't gonna be like, no, it should be good all the time. That's a lie. It's just not that way all the time. If life hits you sometimes, it happens. Sometimes we're prepared, sometimes we're not. That's just how we gonna carry that thing. The only thing we can do is try to continue to upbuild ourselves in the process. I know that y'all think I was gonna say upbuild others. Um, Sometimes you just don't have the energy for that. Sometimes you just don't have the energy. In order to pour into others, you have to have a full cup. You should have a full cup, let me say. Because some of y'all scraping the bottom of your cup like it's a icy, and that's just no way to live. Y'all sitting there still trying to scrape the bottom. It's not there. It's not there. Y'all still trying to give to something that's just there's nothing to give. Okay. Um, okay, you feeling great. And you're positive. Okay, all right. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, I like sipping paint. Yeah, again, y'all don't be include me in the family functions, and I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Okay, that's what we do. We doing sipping pasties. Hold up, what y'all sipping on? That's the question. What are we sipping at a sipping paint? I got questions. Is it fruit infused water? Sparkling water? Cause I don't know if some of y'all are of age, and I don't want to be the aunt that's there, doing the whiff test on the cup. So maybe it might be what y'all drinking over here. I don't want to be that person. Okay, so I want to do a recap of last week, right? I want to talk about some of the topics that we talked about last week. We talked about being a people pleaser and what that really looked like. Continuing to use. I gotta stop looking at your comments talking about lemonade and water. Okay, let's go with that. Let's go with that. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Okay, so we were talking about being a people pleaser and constantly being in a position of pleasing others, even at the expense of ourselves. So again, we're just continuously pouring into cups, even though we're all out and we're empty. We are taking on the ideas of others just because, they said it was a good idea. We're putting our ideas on the back burner, and sometimes not even on the back burner. We're completely taking them off of the stove. Like we just putting them in the trash with the idea that they're not, nobody wants to listen to my ideas anyway. So definitely we're going to put on the side being a people pleaser, right? In certain instances, like we said, those things are going to happen. They're going to happen, especially if, moms want something from you, pop, sis, brother. But there comes a time where we have to set boundaries, and those boundaries are important in order for us to thrive and in order for us to be good for anything else, any other project, any other relationship. We have to be okay. We have to be okay. And I think that sometimes we feel that we could just keep giving to others and we never have to be okay ourselves. Um, that's a lie. That's a lie that I really want us to stop telling ourselves. It's okay to say, I'm not okay. It's okay to rest. It's okay to say, you've stepped on one of my boundaries. It's okay to redirect people and say, hey, I know that maybe you weren't aware of this, but I take offense when people say this to me. And I actually do not like this happening to me. But what I would like for you to do is this, right? That redirection. Redirection is very important in business, in relationships. I can't stress that enough. Whenever I talk to you all, I know that I don't always use the terms in business, in your personal lives, because it really is the same thing. It really is the same thing. And there are going to be somebody on this line again that is just not going to agree with me, and they're going to say, no, 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 you have the ability to put on a mask, and you have the ability, you can do those things. I want to stress that again. You can do those things, but it is exhausting. It is exhausting. And for the people who are saying, yes, you can put on a mask, may not always have the understanding of all the things you carry in a day. If I'm already carrying all of my responsibilities, I'm carrying my past experiences, I'm carrying past traumas, I'm carrying all of those things with me day to day, it is so hard to put on a mask every day. It's too hard. It's too hard. Instead, our ultimate endeavor, the goal should be to be the same place everywhere you go and to have the respect for yourself and the respect for others in all of those spaces, to properly deal with trauma so that we're not carrying it to work and we're not carrying it into relationships and allowing for trauma to take the wheel, right? We're dealing with those things instead of just continuously carrying them in our backpack and all of those things. So if ever you all are with me on these Power Professional Tuesdays and you are with someone else, you may hear them say something contradictory to what I'm sharing with you all. I can only tell you from my experience what has worked for me. What is working for me, the peace that I have, and being able to be the same person everywhere I go. Being the type of person who wore a mask and then took it off, put it on and took it off, and the issues I had with my heart because of that, the knots I had in my stomach, the ulcers I developed from doing those things. So I'm never going to tell you all, yeah, go ahead, put that mask on and have the ability to take it off, because work is work and home is home. And those things are true, but you have to be at a place where you can show up yourself. You have to be able to be yourself. And if someday you look in the mirror and you decide that the person that you are showing up as is not who you want to be, you have every right to change who that person is without the guilt of, oh, you changing now. We different now, huh? You acting real brand new. You acting real brand new. Because just last week, you and me was about to jump. We was about to jump, old girl. Now you talking about calm down and all of this stuff. Yeah, no, that's not who you were last week. But change has to begin somewhere. It has to begin somewhere. So that same person who says you wasn't that person last week can attest to the fact that you have been consistent for the last year. You've now been consistent for the last 2 years, the next 5 years. So everyone's at some point in time is going to have the ability to say, oh, but you didn't say that yesterday. Well, that was yesterday. And from here on out, this is who I am. So I suggest you get to know her, because this is who it is, right? And you have every right to say that to someone without feeling the burden of you not, you acting funny. I think that in my community, right? My community, acting funny really lends to the fact of you being phony. And being phony is a sin, right? It is an absolute sin to be phony, right? Because when you're phony, I can't trust you. And if I can't trust you, then who really are you? And if I can't do any of those things, then you've just broken the law of the community, the law of the hood, right? But you have every right to redefine who you are. And you're not phony if you're consistent, right? You're not if you're consistent. Now, if you bouncing back and forth and I see you show up here and you're telling me that, you want to do better, you want to do these things, and then I see you in a different group completely not showing up as the person you just told me you wanted to be, then you're phony. Then you're phony. But if you are trying to be consistent, but you're failing along the way, again, that's okay. That's a part of the process. You're going to fall, but at least fall forward. You're falling forward with the idea that, okay, I know exactly what I did wrong there. I was around people that I wanted to impress. Peer pressure set in, and I didn't show up as the person that I wanted to be. But I know in the future, I'm not going to do that again. That's falling forward. That's learning from your mistakes with the thought of, I'm going to get up renewed and I'm going to try that thing again. And when I try it again, I'm not going to miss, right? That's falling forward. But if you are intentional with being different places everywhere you go, and I mean they are complete opposites of who you're saying you are, I got a problem with that. I have an issue with that, because then I don't really know what you stand for. And if I don't know what you're standing for, I can't stand beside you. I can't be with you on that one, because you're on shaky ground and now I'm standing beside you and we just falling apart. And that's a no for me. Okay, I'm too tall to fall. Okay, is it we're not gonna do that, right? Okay, let's see. I'm trying, but my parents are ridiculing me for changing. I'm changing to do better, but they see it as me not doing what they want me to do. Um, Again, I want to reiterate the fact that, those naysayers can be the people in your life who were supposed to support you. And that's when it hurts the most. Um, it's like you have on this armor, right? And you are ready for the world. But family can come along and just stab you in a place that nobody else even knew was there. They're just that soft spot on the spot, that in between, the breastplate and the back plate. They just stabbed you right there. And family can do that to you because we expect more from them. We expect them to be loving by default. We expect them to have the right answers. We expect them to be supportive. We expect those things of them, and they are just not giving them to us. And the only advice that I can give you, unfortunately, and I'm saying this because I really don't want to give the advice. I really don't. Is to not need it from them. That is going to set you on a path that could really lead you to success, and it can also lead you to depression. So I want you to be very careful about what I just said, with the idea that you are going to seek help while going through that process. Because family, they're supposed to be many things. But if they did not get the support, if they didn't have that as their background, um, many times people find it difficult to become something that they themselves did not get. It's not impossible to do. It's not impossible to do. You can make the decision at any point in time to be different than what you received. I want to be clear about that. But many times people don't seek the help that's needed to stop the bad behavior that they were subjected to. I told you all this many, many times. As a child, you have parents who were subjected to abuse, right? The backhand slap, shut up, don't say nothing, all of those things. And instead of getting help, we have normalized that behavior, right? And made it okay. And then we've moved on to treating our children the same way, right? And I challenge many parents that I speak to, because I do speak to parents too, and they say, you allow your child to, say that she don't want to do this and she don't want to do that. And I challenge them all to remember what it was like to be 12. And they're like, okay. I'm like, okay, you remember what it was like to be 12? Mm-hmm. Do you remember when your parents said, shut up, don't say anything? Do you remember how that made you feel? And they were like, well, I was embarrassed. I was humiliated. Um, I was upset. Okay, so then why would we bottle that up and feed that poison to our children? There's another way. There's another way of gaining respect as an adult, as an authority figure, without completely humiliating our children. There's a way of doing that. And so, yes, your parents, because of maybe their past experiences, they haven't taken the time to remember what it was like to be your age. And that we have to do the work. We have to do the work. Okay. Um, you're going to keep going. It's sickening because being constantly made to feel like I'm doing something wrong or wanting to do better. I agree. I agree. It's not impossible though, but again, you didn't get what you were supposed to, so having to start from scratch is not easy to do. I'm not going to lie. That's not easy, but it can be done. It absolutely can be done. And so, what I really appreciate about this particular group, though, is that you all support one another. And that's so important to do. It's so important to have your tribe, right? I think I've mentioned that before. You're going to find your tribe eventually in life. And that can be the people that you share blood with, or it can be the people that you share goals with. It could be both. It doesn't always have to be the people that, your blood runs through their veins, unfortunately. Um, but it is possible. It is possible. And you never know how your example could help them. Because if my daughter is setting a better example than I've set, I might have to take a knee. Like, I might have to take a second and say, are they right? And have I been, getting on her for not doing the right thing? But it's been me the whole time. That takes some time to process mentally. That it's not everybody else. It's actually you. You got to sit in that for a minute. You got to sit in that for a minute. That's not the easiest thing to take. When you literally believe with your whole being that it's everybody else, and you realize finally that it's you, you really have to process that a different way. So I think that the good news is that you have found part of your tribe here, and you get to share that what you just said, and allow for people to support you and to encourage you. That's a beautiful thing, and don't take it for granted, because a lot of other people and youth and young adults and parents that I talk to, they don't have that. They're still looking for their tribe because they've isolated themselves and they don't talk about it and they don't say anything and they don't allow for themselves to connect with people. And so they haven't even done the work that you've done in just saying it. So, congratulations for being able to share. Gemma, it's funny when we first started this thing, you were not sharing. You were kind of just like, it's either y'all know or you don't, and you're sharing, and that's progress. That's wonderful. I'm glad that you feel comfortable enough to share. So, congratulations on that as well. Honestly, um, that's right. As long as you You're right. As long as you know you're doing what's best for you, you'll see why you're doing what you're doing. You guys are in the right spot. I swear, you guys. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. All right. So I told you all that this week we were going to address another topic, right? And this topic this week is going to hurt your feelings for some of y'all. But it's lying. Straight up lying. Straight up lying. And for some of y'all like, okay, but I only tell small lies. I don't really tell big ones. Um, Lying is wrong. It's just yeah, straight up lying. Just straight up lying. Lying is wrong. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It takes a lot of mental real estate. And when I say mental real estate, we have a lot going on in our brains, right? We have the thing that happened, whatever the experience is. We have how it made us feel. We have the perceived feelings of somebody else, right? Of us. We're also carrying that around. And on top of that, you're carrying the truth and the lie. That's a lot. That's a lot. And then you copy paste that for every experience you have in your life. That's a lot. So you know what the brain starts to do? The brain starts to try to merge. It tries to merge the truth with the lie. So now all you got to do is remember the one thing. So now you didn't started believing the lie because your brain is like, listen, this is taking up too much. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna merge a little bit of this, we're gonna merge a little bit of that, and what we're gonna do is we just gonna put that in its place, right? Okay, so now you out here selling lies, right? Small lies. That's what you told yourself. It ain't even that really big. I just told her, I liked her shoes, when the reality of it is I really didn't care for them at all, right? Small lies. We tell ourselves, oh yeah, my is your work done? Oh, yeah, it's done 100%. I'll have it ready for you on Friday. And then somebody says, actually, I'm so glad you said that because I actually need to report today. Could you send it to me in the next 5 minutes? Now you sitting here looking crazy and you're looking dumb because you just told a lie. When living truth is not easy to do in every situation, but at least it saves you and it saves your reputation. Once you are known as a liar, that is a hard thing to undo. That's a hard thing to undo. Somebody catch you in a lie and you could tell the truth from here until the next time you see them. And every time you like, I don't know, I'm gonna have to double check this because last time you lied and I caught you in the lie, right? And for a lot of y'all cutting people off if you catch them in the lie. So now the relationship is over, right? So it's not good in personal and it's not good in business. The reputation of who you are is so precious that it should not be tainted even by you. It shouldn't be. You have to protect the brand at all costs. So what do we do if somebody is asking us our opinion for something and we really don't want to tell the truth? There are ways to politely tell someone something or not, right? So let's say somebody says to you, "How you like this outfit? Am I looking good?" And you gonna say, "I mean, well, it's not really my style, but if it makes you happy, I'm here for it." Right? Somebody say, "Oh, what you don't like it?" I mean, again, not my style, but me knowing my friend, I know that's all you, straight up. I ain't lie. I didn't lie to you. It's not my style. It's not something I would wear. It's not something I would do. But you said sometimes the truth hurts. Okay, that's true. But let's be clear. I want to be very clear. Sometimes the truth doesn't need to be said. Now, let me qualify that statement. Right? Let's say somebody's asking your opinion of something and you don't feel like it's a safe space to share. And they say, okay, you know what? They talking to you real close. It's real aggressive, okay, go ahead and tell me what happened then. No, no, no. Go ahead and tell me what happened. And you like, well, hey, I don't really feel like this is a safe space for us to continue this conversation. That's it. This is not a safe space. That's it. You don't got to be close talking. We hitting this and oh, no, no, no. It's not a safe space for me to continue this conversation. That's it. Not everybody is in a place to hear the truth. That doesn't mean that you taint your brand with giving them a lie. That is not what that means. Because now you have cheapened your brand to make somebody else feel better. And now we're right back at being a people pleaser. We are right back at being a people pleaser. And some of y'all are doing it and don't even know y'all doing it. We got to stop. We have to stop. Now, someone may even tell you that it is a safe space. No, I really want to know what you think about this. Are you sure you want to know? Because I want to make sure that you're in a place where you can receive what I'm saying without it being, without me feeling like I'm hurting you on a personal level, right? And somebody says, "Oh yeah, go ahead," and then you share, and now they acting different. And you like, "But you said this was a safe space. You said." I lied. You know why? Because I knew that you was just going, okay, so now we know for the future. Hey, guess what? Now I know that when you ask my opinion in the future, you really aren't asking for my opinion. You want me to agree with you. So this is what we're going to do from here on out. You're going to ask my opinion, and I'm just going to say, "That's not really what I want from you." Well, no, it kind of is. You want me to go along with you. But the reality of it is that you're your own person and so am I. I have the right to disagree with you without it being the end of our relationship because I disagree with you. And if that's not where you are emotionally, I need for you to do a little bit more growth. You can say that to somebody without it being a whole big hoopla of a circumstance. But what we're not going to do is cheapen ourselves, because that's what we're doing. We're cheapening our brand in an effort to make somebody else feel better. And you straight up lied. And you straight up lied. He said, "That's really the only time I lie." Oh my goodness. Okay. You got to be able to hear the truth. That is 100% true. It doesn't feel good all the time. It doesn't feel good all the time. The truth is the truth though. Now, don't go around sharing your truth and ain't nobody asked you for it. That's another thing. You just going around telling people how you feel and nobody asked you. You just stopping people in the street. "Girl, I can't believe you came out the house like that. Fix it." Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you, okay? That's a whole different thing. I'm gonna tell you what I got a whole pet peeve about, okay? And I'm gonna go ahead and say it because I got the microphone. I have a pet peeve with people who are like, okay, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offer you my truth. Nobody asked you. Nobody asked you. Yes, Donovan, literally, nobody asked you, okay? So don't do that. Don't hide behind being, telling people that you're telling them their truth, your truth, which is the truth, but you're just being mean. That's just your permission slip to be mean to people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, someone is asking of you to share your opinion because they realize that you're somebody who speaks the truth. They realize that you're someone who has been doing the work. They realize that you are someone who's at peace and they want to know your secret. That does not mean that you pick that opportunity to just share everything with them that you feel like that they need to work on. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Someone can come and talk to me about something professional, and now I'm sharing with them specifically what they asked for. Do I got a thing about chip nail polish? Yes, I do, but they didn't ask me that. They did not ask me how I felt about chip nail polish. They didn't ask me about the fact that they got that same toenail polish on that they didn't have for the last 5 months, and now it's only a piece left on the big toe. They didn't ask me any of that. Okay, they didn't ask me how their toes look in the open toe shoes. They didn't ask me any of that. They just asked me a very specific question about interviewing, and that's what I answered. Okay, so let's not use this as a permission slip to be mean to people, because that's not what we do. That also cheapens the brand. You said not the piece on the big toe. 100%. Y'all know who it is. Some of y'all, I had a person in mind when I said it. Okay. What you need to do is go ahead and get some nail polish remover and just go ahead and take that off because you haven't had pink on your toes in the last 5 months. Okay. That's all I'm saying. That's just a tip from me to you. Let me get to some of these comments. Okay. Yes, I'm just living my truth. No, you're being rude. 100%. 100%. I'm just being real. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can't tell you how many times I have heard that in a conversation when we did not ask. I just I just cannot stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. Um so what we're going to do moving forward, if I tell you all, hey, don't tell somebody a lie, please, please, please do not feel that my message to you today is go around sharing a truth that nobody asked you for. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Because what we don't want is the brand to also be rude. Because I've been rude before. Okay. I'm not going to, again, somebody going to come on this line one day and be like, oh, ho, ho, ho. But I remember that day that you said in front of a whole group of people, XYZ. And yes, that probably was me a few years ago, but it's not me now. It's not me now. What I have done, I've gone to people, I've gone back and apologized. I've gone back and apologized to people for being rude in the past, for in the process of growing, I hurt them along the way. I've gone back and apologized to people because what I don't want is for someone to still be functioning under the hurt that I've caused. And I don't want me to say, okay, well, I've grown now enough and I've moved on from that person. And that's true. But sometimes you have to go back and you have to make it right. Sometimes you have to go back and make it right. Now, I'm not saying go and find the person that used to work at McDonald's that you went on ahead and told that, your fries wasn't good. Okay, that's a little too small, maybe. But for certain people, we have really, really been nasty to some people. And it's not for everybody, folks, but those on the line, you know who you are. You know, you may have had a history where your heart was just not in the right place. And because of that, you were just taking people down left and right and left and right. And some people are still functioning under the hurt that we've caused them. And we need to go back and release them from it. We have to go back and tell them I was wrong. I should not have spoken to you that way. I shouldn't have embarrassed you like that. I shouldn't have told the secret that you thought that I was going to keep. I shouldn't have done that to you. Um, but I can tell you that from this point forward, I'm not that same person, and I do ask that you forgive me. I've done that as well. I've done that as well. I'm not above saying that I've done that before. And sometimes we have to. Sometimes we have to. We can't continue to grow knowing that we've caused so much pain. We just can't. All right. Uh he said it's been winter, so you ain't get your toast. I cannot. I cannot. um Also, when you apologize to people, also allow them time to forgive and forget. That's very important. That's very important. And we can't be upset when somebody says, I don't forgive you. Because that happens sometimes. Sometimes we go to offer our apology and we do not get the response we believe we should have gotten. And so now we going off all over again because we didn't get the response we feel like we should have. You just hurt somebody and they've been sitting in that pain for a very long time. And you think that your 2-minute apology is supposed to undo 2 years of pain. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. Sometimes people need to see that you're not the same person. They need to see that you actually are meaning what you say, and you have to show up differently. That takes some time. So if someone says to us, actually, no, I'm going to need to see it. That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But for a lot of us, we're not even in a place to accept that from somebody. We going off on them all over again because they didn't accept our 2-minute apology. We planned it for 2 days. And we just think that we supposed to walk up to the person, and then this rendition of how we played it in our minds, they have embraced us, and we just sit back and forth catching up like nothing ever happened. That happens on a Tyler Perry movie. That's not real life. Sometimes people are like, I appreciate your apology, but I'm still done with you, and I wish you the best. And I thank you for being big enough to come and apologize to me, but I don't want to continue a relationship. And that's their right. That is their right to do. So we didn't rob them the first time. Okay, we robbed them of their peace, we've robbed them of their joy, and now we upset because they want to move on with their lives. That's their right. That's their right to do so. And so please continue to grow in a space where sometimes when we walk away from someone and we really want them back in our lives, but they choose not to be, we let them go. We let them go and we let them grow, and we go and grow, realizing that we're both going to arrive at happiness, and that's okay if it's not the same destination. And that's all right. It's okay. Okay. All right. So, next thing on our list that I'm still learning myself. So it's a little hard for me to tell you all this, but over functioning. Over functioning. What does that really mean? It means that you are overworking to prove your worth. You're overworking to prove your worth because you think somebody somewhere is going to come and really tell you that you've been a fraud the whole time. You are suffering from imposter syndrome, and you feel that this opportunity that you have, somebody is going to come and take it from you because you shouldn't have had it in the first place. So now I need to work, 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 work. I'm not going to take a vacation. I'm not going to, I'm not going to sleep. I'm not going to rest. You know why? Because somebody someplace is going to take my spot. And so I didn't really deserve it to begin with. So when they came and told me that I needed to, they wanted my help on this project, even though I knew I had 4 other projects, I said yes when I should have said no. I should have shared my workload. I should have said, actually, I can't do that right now. But we don't. We want to be in every conversation. We want to be a part of every opportunity because somebody somewhere is going to take our spot. And we didn't deserve it to begin with. That's what we keep telling ourselves. How did I get this opportunity? How did I get it? Because I didn't deserve it to begin with. And somebody somewhere they're gonna tell my secret that I didn't deserve it to begin with. So I have to take on these 5 projects. I have to continue to work through the night, through the weekend, say no to every social function because I didn't deserve it to begin with. And I don't want for anybody to know my secret. Um, Over functioning is unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And I am learning this the hard way. I'm learning this the hard way. Um, because family and friends are what life's all about. At the end of your days, you want to be surrounded by love. Through your days, you want to be surrounded by love. Nobody anywhere at the end of their days has said, you lean in and you like, what do you need? And the person says, pass me my laptop. I have a deadline. Not one person. Not one person. You know why? Because work is important, but it has its place. It has its place. And saying no to a project doesn't mean that you didn't appreciate the opportunity. That's not what that means. It means that you said to yourself, I want to fully give my all to the ones that I have. I want to give you quality over quantity. Yeah, I could say yes to this 10th project, but I guarantee you that the quality of it won't be as good if I had just taken the 3. And in that, over functioning also impacts your brand. It impacts your brand. So you're going to meet some people in your life who are going to say, you can rest when you're dead. Please stop saying that. Please. The next time you hear somebody say that, stop them dead. Please stop saying that. Because if you continue to overwork, you will be dead sooner than you anticipated. Next time you hear somebody say that, just stop them. Because we have to stop doing that. Rest is also beneficial, and it doesn't make you lazy. It doesn't make you, not appreciate the opportunity that you received. It doesn't, make you thankless. It means that you want to be healthy. You want to be healthy in mind. You want to be healthy in your being. You want to be able to give quality products because that's the brand, right? So that's okay to say that to somebody. Hey, let me first thank you for thinking of me for the project. And I was really looking forward to offering my level of expertise to it. But the timing for me is just not good. It's just not good timing. I have 5 other projects that I'm giving my time to. And as much as I want to be a part of this project, I have to decline because I want to be able to give you quality. And I know that I can't. That's okay to say. That's okay to say, right? They gave you the first 5 projects because they knew that what your brand is. They knew that when they gave you the project, it would be safe. They knew when they gave you the project, it was going to be done. And more than that, it was going to be done well. But if you keep saying yes to everything, your brand is not going to be a project that Tay gives projects that are good quality. It's going to be Tay gave me something, but I don't know what that was. And matter of fact, I ain't want to tell her, but I had to reassign that thing to somebody else. It was terrible. oh my goodness, the quality that she gave me, it had misspellings all through the proposal. I don't know if her train of thought was off or whatever, but it didn't even make sense when I read through it. I ain't want to tell her, but I actually had to reassign that to somebody else. I just won't be using her again. What in the world? That's not the brand. That is not the brand. If you have to have a wait list, you just have to have a wait list. I would prefer for somebody to tell me, hey, I need to put you on the wait list than to give me a product and I paid for it and it's not what I asked for. Oh no, I can't use you again. And more than that, your review, don't ask for a review on Etsy. Okay, don't ask me for anything like that because I'm gonna have to tell you that the quality that I received just was not worth my money. And we really, really don't want that. You said that's what happened to me last year. I overworked myself and my bad gave my bad quality for me. Listen, it happens. It happens. Okay. It happens to the best of us, especially if you're in a place where you're trying to get your brand off the ground. Oh, you work yourself to death because you don't want to turn away the business. You went from having zero business, right, to now having business, more and more interest in your business, and you don't want to turn the person away. But at the same time, if your brand is not aligning with the product that you said you could deliver, you're going to turn people away anyway. That's just what's going to happen. I tell people all the time because people ask for marketing tips and things like that. And the best thing I can tell you as far as marketing is to have a brand that people can speak highly of. Because one person will tell another, who tell another, who will tell another, right? And as much as I can log on and see maybe the good reviews or whatever, it hits home when it's somebody I know. Somebody could be selling a healthcare product, right? And they could say, oh, yeah, the healthcare product is going to even your skin tone. It's going to clear up your acne. It's going to make you glow, right? And that all sounds great, but that hits a lot different when my homegirl came through with the glowing skin. And I'm like, girl, whoa, what's going on? What you been using? They be like, oh, let me tell you, I used this, it did this, and it did this, right? Now I'm going out and I'm buying 5 bottles because I trusted her immediately, right? That's the brand. The brand is to have somebody tell somebody to tell somebody to tell somebody, right? That's the best. You can't pay for that type of marketing, right? Because that type of marketing comes with trust. And when you have marketing that comes with trust, your products are going to continue to sell. But if you are giving people products that are not that great, right? And you keep trying to sell the products that's not that great because you just didn't want to turn down the business, you can sell the initial product, right? But they'll never come back for a second. They're not going to come back for a second. That's just not going to happen, right? So we are stepping away from, as we are developing our brand, we are stepping away from over functioning. Because as much as you feel that you are doing your business a favor, you are doing your brand a disservice. And we're just not going to do that. All right. Yes, I love when my customers start making sales for me. That's what I'm talking about. That's the best. That's the best. That is the absolute best. Okay. All right. Now, I want to move on to another topic of uncertainty. Uncertainty. There are going to be times in your life, in your career, in your relationships where you are not going to be certain. You are going to do research, you're going to check, you're going to host focus groups. And when I say host focus groups, that could be anywhere from you just talking to your friends about what they think about it, and you're still not sure. And sometimes you just have to do it. You just have to do it. Uncertainty, I think I said before and on one of my pages, right? Uncertainty can kill a dream that you were supposed to give life, but you killed it because your friends weren't able to relate and the people around you couldn't really see it with you, and you weren't sure what people would think of you, and you weren't sure if it was actually going to work. And sometimes you just have to do it. Sometimes you just have to do it. And I know that there will be a business professional somewhere that is going to say, from a business analysis perspective, that you have to do this and you have to do that, and you have to make sure that this aligns, and you have to do this and you have to do that. And that all is wonderful, and it's true, and it's helpful. And then sometimes you just gotta do it. You just got to do it. Okay. Because sometimes I look out my window and I see birds. Right. And it's like, Miss Tay, what in the world does what does birds have to do with this conversation? You know why? Because there comes a time where a baby bird stands on the tip of the nest and they just jump. And they just jump. And they didn't do an analysis of, they didn't come back with calculations. They didn't do anything. You know why? Because it was in them to fly. It was in them to fly deep down. It was in them to fly. And for some of us, it is in us to fly. It's in us, and it's burning. And sometimes, you share the idea with somebody and they like, I don't know about that one. I don't know. And sometimes we just gotta do it. We just gotta jump. And we jump into our dreams. And no, we sometimes did it wrong. And we realized that after jumping, that maybe we should have done this first and we should have done that first. And maybe we did it backward, right? We actually jumped into it, learned it, and then we started doing it, right? And that's unconventional. Yes, it's true. But guess what? The best things in life sometimes happen just that way. Sometimes it doesn't go in line, it doesn't go in order. You didn't go from A to B to C. Sometimes you started off at D and you shot the F. Like sometimes it happens just that way. But I cannot stress this enough for what I'm about to say. Of all the chances you have to take in life, you have to be ready for it emotionally. You have to be ready for that emotionally. And in a business analysis, nobody ever factors that part in. Because if you're not ready emotionally, the opportunity can come and your brain is just like, we can't. You know why? Because I'm dealing with this at home, I'm dealing with this in a relationship, and I'm dealing with these negative friends, and the uncertainty is just too much for me. I just can't. I can't, right? That is much different than someone who was ready emotionally. They were ready for it. Their mind was free of the drama, their circle was free of the negativity. And when the opportunity came and they weren't even ready for it, they became what was needed to accomplish the goal. Sometimes you don't go from A to B to C. Sometimes you stand on the edge and you just decide to fly. So, no, again, somebody somewhere is going to say, please don't bring Tay back on a Tuesday because she round here undoing everything that we done taught and this and that and blah, blah, blah. They can, but I'm telling you all from experience, okay, that you have to be ready here first. The other things will come. They will come. And sometimes you did it backward and you didn't really realize it. You like, ooh, I shouldn't have did that. But you fell forward, right? You learned from it and you said, I'm not going to do that anymore. So when I stand up again, I'm going to know how to take my next step, right? That's different than somebody telling you that all your steps should be planned out from start. That's a lie. That's a lie. You know why? Because in your planning process, you did not intend on losing a best friend in death. You didn't intend on getting an opportunity from the side that you didn't even expect coming. You didn't anticipate that maybe your video will go viral on social media and now it's coming in more than you ever anticipated. But more than all else, more than anything else, you got to be ready here. You have to be ready here, right? And that doesn't mean that you're so high in the sky that you can't take feedback. That doesn't mean that when somebody comes to you and they like, actually, listen, you may want to consider getting this trademark before you do your marketing campaign. You take those things into consideration too. That doesn't mean somebody's trying to tear you down, but more than anything else, you got to be ready here. Because if you're ready here, you're ready here. And if you could be ready here, it means you're ready here. You're ready here means you could be ready here, which means that when the opportunity comes, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to receive. But if the opportunity comes and you're not ready here, I can't use these. I can't use this. I can't use these because I wasn't ready here. The opportunities are going to come. They're going to come. Do the work now so that you can be ready here. Okay? If I don't tell y'all anything else, if y'all don't ever come to another Tuesday to kick it with Miss Day, okay? Remember that I told you all that no matter where you are in life, make sure that you're ready here. Okay? All right. So, I know that you all know that I will not be with you in April. I am so sad that I will not be with you all in April, right? I will see you again in May. In the meantime, do everything that you can to continue to be great, to continue to be wonderful, to continue to be you. And if you look in the mirror today or tomorrow and you realize that that's not who you want to be, please understand that you have the right to change it at any point in time. All right? Okay? I love you all so much. If you have not heard it today, I think you all are wonderful. I think you all are fantastic. I think that you are going to accomplish great things. And again, I have said this to you all many, many times again, many, many times before, and I will continue to tell you all every time I see you. You all are a dream come true for a 7-year-old girl. All right? So, thank you for inviting me into your space. Thank you all for your time. I love you all so very much. Okay? Oh, thank you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, reach out to me on social media if you need me. In the meantime, I'm going to be off for April. I will see you all in May. And until the next time, go off and do something to make yourself proud. All right? All right, everybody. Checking out until May. I'll see y'all then.